guys, today we have the one and only Chevrolet Equinox EV RS. So, is this Equinox EV here actually worth $50,000 compared to other EVs on the market? We're gonna get into it right now. Starting in on the front end exterior styling of the brand new Equinox EV RS here. First off, I just really like this car in white. I feel like an EV just fits white so well. So I really like the white with the black with the little red accents from the RS trim here. So first, there is a very massive hood right here, and it actually opens, and I'm going to show you what is under there later on. But as we move down, we have this light bar design that goes all the way across and actually lights up, unlike some. And it kind of reminds me of the new Model Y refresh, how they did like the light bar all the way across the front. So I really like this. And then we have a blacked out Chevy badge right under that. And if we keep moving down, we have this kind of fake carbon-y situation here, but it does look really cool and fits the aesthetic and the trim really well. And we have this kind of fakey grill looking thing too, unlike a Tesla, how they just have it the same color as the car. The Equinox has it blacked out, but once again, I think it looks cool. It makes this car look kind of sharp and edgy in a way. And then we have our red RS trim badge right here on the front. And there are two different trim levels for the Equinox EV. So we have the LT, which is actually right here behind me, conveniently. And then this is the RS EV model. So the LT starts at about $33,000, while the RS starts at about $43,000. And this one specifically is spec'd to about $50,000. You can see the difference in just that car and this car. You get the blacked out Chevy badge, the RS badging, the blacked out mirrors and trim all around the car, plus another interior option to be able to get a red interior, which looks super cool. And with the regular LT model, you just get it kind of like a basic Chevy Equinox would look. It has like the painted trim and the regular Chevy like kind of goldy badge. So the RS is definitely a sportier model and I think looks super cool. You can get either model in front wheel drive or all wheel drive. Now coming down the side here, first off we have our blacked out 21-inch wheel design there, which really fits this car once again. Above that, we have our charge door, which is humongous, by the way. I feel like they could have cut this in half or something, but you just push in and pop it open. We have our charger in there, and we do have CCS charging underneath that. And gone are the days of a gas cap thingy where it's like hanging out of your car when you forget to put it back. Well, your CCS charger does that. So you forget to put that back, you still have the issue of having it hanging out like your gas cap. That's funny. And Chevy says you can get 70 miles of range in just 10 minutes of charging, which is super convenient. You might just need to go up the street and charge for a minute, but you can go all around town. So if I move on down, we have our blacked out mirrors and blacked out trim, like I mentioned earlier, that you get with the RS package. And we have our blacked out Equinox badge right there on the side as well. And I really like how the E in Equinox is like 3 little blue bars for like charging and electric and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And these door handles are actually flush when the car is locked, but when it is unlocked, they're popped out at you, ready to be opened, and you just pull on them, just like a Huracan almost. And we do have some roof rails up here if you want to attach something to the roof of this car. But other than that, let's hop on to the rear end. And as we move into the rear end here, just a few things to go over. Starting off at the top, you do have a rear view mirror camera right here above your back windshield thing. And if we move on down, we have once again a really cool light bar design back here with some nice LED taillights. Like This looks super cool. I really, really like the way this car is. Like, it's like kind of edgy and a little sharp in places. And I feel like that's what you think of when you like think electric. And then we have this blacked out badge once again. Another Equinox, electrified Equinox badge. And then we have another red RS badge on this side. And if we pop down here, then we have our actual backup camera right there above this really cool Riley Ray's girl that you should go subscribe to. And there is a button right here next to your little backup camera to pop open this trunk. And now we're gonna hop inside. And like I mentioned earlier, your button to open it is right here. You just press that, or you can double click on your key fob to open your trunk here. And right off the bat, it's honestly pretty roomy, especially when you get to laying those seats down. You can actually lay fully in here, which is really nice for like a mid-size SUV. But first off, we just have a couple tie down points on each side of the trunk here. We have 112 volt on that side. And then on each side, we do have like a little cubby space. And what's super weird, which I don't see often, is that your wheel wells are like actually in your trunk space in this car. So it kind of takes a little bit from the space that you get on the floor directly. But there is some extra space underneath of here, just like a Tesla. So if I lift this whole thing up, you do get trunk space under there for extra storage and a couple more things that I'm gonna get into right now. And this is what the car looks like with the seats down. You can tell you have a whole bunch of storage back here. So after taking off the extra floor cover thing, this is the storage that you get underneath of that. And it actually is a lot more than you think. Like, I put my arm down here, it goes up to about my elbow deep. But above that, you get like this little storage of sorts. You get a whole bunch of these like little Velcro sticky things, and you get your tow hooks, which are so heavy, by the way. And you get your charger that comes with the car, of course. And then in the middle there, it's like a little kickstand thing to hold up your little shelf piece that goes here. This is just such a silly little trunk area. But on each side, you do have like these kind of protruding metal pieces of your vehicle. Like, they are straight metal and painted white and everything. They just kind of stick out, that are like the latches for your back seats. So when you put your back seats down, they don't move. So I guess that could take up a little space. But other than that, this is a very spacious and roomy mid-size SUV. And I think I would be really happy with the space back here. And to close this, there is a little SUV button with its trunk open, and you just hit it and it dings at you a few times and then it closes. But overall, the opening and closing is pretty slow. I feel like it needs to be just a touch faster. So your tow hooks are just so big and heavy that I guess while you're charging your car, you can like do some weightlifting or something. Before this video gets going, I need you to go check out me on my socials. I love checking out cars on the side, but I post all of my best content in the link below. Plus, you'll get to see my review of this awesome C8 Z06. So to open the hood here, there is a little lever in the driver's footwell right here, and you just pull it towards you and it will pop up and you can lift it up and it's on struts. You don't have to put up the big stick on your hood like the Colorado that I've done a review on, so go check that out. But this is what you get underneath your hood of your Equinox EV, which is crazy. I have never seen an EV have all of their wiring and their stuff exposed to the world. Unlike a Model Y or something where you have a front trunk and you have all these plastics to cover this up, this is just out there. So they do make a gas model of the Equinox, and they have really just put the electricness where the gas stuff would go. So like they use the same motor mounts and things like that to place the electric things, because it would be more money to redesign a whole new front end, front trunk area. So They just put it where it used to go in their gas models, but this is just wild. Lots of wires going on here. Over here you do have your windshield washer fluid. Above that you have your big bobber coolant. And you have your battery right there for all your plugs and stuff. But I mean, this is it. You don't get any front trunk in an EV once again. And kind of just like the Fisker Ocean, which I've also done a review on, they just kind of make it to where you can't even open the front of the car and like this is what's under it. So I think it's kind of funny and silly that like Chevy literally makes it where you can see it. And just a few more things about this hood space is it's a whole bunch of like stamped steel, basically. Like there's nothing to cover it up. This is literally almost how the car comes from the production plant and they just left it like that. So I just think that's funny. It's weird. And then we have like Spaghetti Junction over here or something. I think it's so crazy because, I mean, they're just gonna have to hire electricians to work on these cars now and things like that. So, I mean, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I guess they made it accessible at least. For the performance specs on this Equinox EV here, this thing gets 319 miles of range, which is the same as a Tesla Model Y long range. It has 220 horsepower with an 85 kilowatt hour battery and can also tow 1,500 pounds, as Chevy says. And this thing goes 0 to 60 in about 8 seconds, which is crazy for an EV. Like that's almost as slow as just a regular car, if not slower. Now before we hop into the interior, here is the key to your Equinox EV, which is the exact same as the Colorado Bison that I have also reviewed, like I mentioned. So it's just this nice little black plastic right here. We just have a few buttons. We have a lock, we have an unlock, we have a remote start, which I don't really know why you need remote start if your electric car is always on in a way, but okay. Next to that, you do have your trunk button that you hit twice to pop it open. And then we have a panic button. But it's time to get into the interior, so let's do that. Now onto the inside of the Equinox EV RS here. And as you can see, this has a gorgeous red and black interior. And you can only get the red with the black with the RS trim. So little perk there again. And I mean, overall, it is super roomy in here. That's one of the things about the Equinox is that it just has a whole bunch of room everywhere and lots of storage. So if we just want to jump in, it has a bunch of different materials all around. Like this is kind of like a crisscrossy, leathery material, but then there's like this dark gray, nice stealthy looking, and then we have the red with the leather, and then the leather steering wheel with the red stitching, and like it's just all kinds of things in here. And I'm just gonna start off on a few basic things, which is being the vents and how they are super cool. Like you have these kind of red bits inside of your vents that are circular on each side, but then you pop to the middle and they are just horizontal to fit in with your center console area here. But all buttons are super easy to use. They feel really good, like super soft kind of. And I mean, everything is just very basic and easy, you know? Like the stalks, the right stalk is just like a Tesla, how you press down to go and up for reverse and things like that. Over on the left side, we have our windshield washer wiper controls. And I mean, goodness, it's easy in here. Like there's honestly just a few buttons on the steering wheel and that's all. Like you have everything in your infotainment, everything you need in your gauge cluster. So let's go ahead and hop into that. Let's just start off on the steering wheel / gauge cluster area. And this steering wheel feels so soft. Like this is some of the softest leather I've ever felt. And once again, I love the red stitching with the RS badge right there. And Chevy does call this its flat bottom steering wheel, and it feels a little more sporty than a regular one. I like that. Oh, it just feels so nice. But starting off on the left-hand side is just a few things for like cruise control and things like that. Easy. And over here on this right side is just like voice commands and your heated steering wheel button, your call button and things like that. But then there's this button right here on the bottom, and it's like two little squares to flip in between your screens on your gauge cluster, just like the Colorado. So I'm going to show you that right now. So this is the first screen that you get right here, which has your little Equinox right in the middle. On the left-hand side, you get your miles per hour with your battery range in the left-hand corner, your mileage down in the middle, and then your music on the right-hand side and the degrees and things like that. If I click through to the next one, it's just a more basic one with your miles per hour and all of the same things at the bottom. Next one, it shows your date and time on the left-hand side, your battery percentage and your miles per hour, and your infotainment on the right-hand side. And then this is just a different version of that, your kilowatts that you've been using, I guess, and then your date and time in the middle, and then your miles per hour and your battery percentage over on the left. And then this one will be your maps if you just wanted to use your maps. It has Google Maps completely built into this car. And that is it. It is simple, easy, and like I said, if you just keep popping through those menus, like you just use that button, and that is all that's on the gauge cluster there. Now we're going to pop into this 17.7-inch infotainment screen here, which is absolutely huge. It literally goes almost to your passenger side. But first I'm going to start off on these left-hand little icons here. And this button right here keeps your car on for 60 minutes. I don't really know when you would need that, but the little icon of it is almost like a Tahoe or Suburban or something. It's not even the Equinox, so that's kind of funny. And then we just have some lighting controls and things like that. But as we come into the main screen here, these little toggles up here are just like your kind of quick controls, even though there is like huge icons down here for the same thing. I guess it'd just be easier to press if you put it up there. And you can actually hold these and drag them and bloop, put them up there if you wanted to, whatever you wanted to customize it with. First off, we're going to start on vehicle status. And this is just like the Colorado, how when you press things, it shows all of the items within your car and like servicing and things like that. You have some energy info in this screen here. And if we go back, we can get into our drive mode. So here you have normal, or you can get sporty with it. Or if you're in snow and ice, it shows a little display of that, which looks super cute. Going back home, you just have the Google Assistant and the Play Store and things like that. We have our charging stats up in here. You can prep for fast charging if that's what you wanted to do. Camera over here, there is a 360 cam on this car. So we're on the sides over here. Then we have like overhead, and we have our regular view from the front. This would show the back of the car, or if you were able to tow, then it would probably show like the little hitch back there. But other than that, just a few more things. There's Alexa, there's some settings. You do have some ambient lighting in here somewhere, which I can't seem to find around. Here's what your climate controls look like. That's wild. It's really cool. It's like, let's see, yeah, you can touch screen it. It has like little liney designs, and I mean, it looks easy to use, even though I would just probably use the buttons down there because that's simpler. Then you just have radio, maps, phone controls. I mean, that's it. Like your climate controls are down here on the bottom of the screen as well. So you have like 3 places to do climate controls. But like I mentioned, you do have your little horizontal vents right here, and then your climate control actual buttons right there. This is really easy, you guys. One thing that actually kind of sucks is that this car is not compatible with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So, I mean, you're just gonna have to use like Bluetooth or something like that, but it does have Google Maps built in here. Now, just for a few more things, on the top of this like headliner kind of area, your mirror can also be a camera, like I showed you the little camera right there on the back. So we can flip this on and boom, it is your camera that sits on the top of your trunk area. And if I put it back, it turns back to your normal mirror. Above that, you just have a couple buttons, your lights, and this does have a panoramic sunroof, which is an option for this car. But then we have our visors with these big mirrors. They literally give you like white LEDs over here, but then these like yellow little lights right here. Like, come on. You can just stick those right here. But you do get a mirror in there, and these literally feel like cardboard. Like, that's crazy. They're just lined in some liner here, and that's it. But the sunroof is really nice. I like how it goes all the way to the back. You get like a little moonroof action. And I mean, yeah, that's basically it, except for there is a lot of storage in here, and I'm gonna get into that right now. Starting off for storage, on your door you have this little tiny cubby there, and then on the bottom you have your door storage, of course, on both the driver and the passenger door. Right here in the center console, you get this big old wireless charging pad for your phone or just for random objects. Underneath that is this huge bridge. Lots of room down here, and it also has a 12 volt all the way at the bottom. I feel like they could have stuck that down in there or something, so it was just a little bit closer. But we do have really big cup holders with like these weird bubbly things in them. Instead of like the plastic things that usually stick out, they're like little bubbles. And then next to that, you have another little thin storage spot with two USB-C chargers right there. Onto your center console storage, you press the button, pops open that way. You do get a little cubby holder right there that goes above your storage, and if I stick my arm down in there, it goes up to almost my elbow. It is very deep in that center console area. And then of course we have our glove box here that we just pop open, and it's not lined with anything. This is just all plastic, but it is deep and could hold quite a few things. But other than that, I mean, that's it. There is a lot of room in here. There's a lot of storage. But now I'm going to show you the back seats. Now as we pop back into the back seats here, we do still have these super nice, same trim and colors and things like that as the front seats do. Like we have the nice cloth material with the red leather in the middle and all the red stitching. So I'm glad they didn't like cheap out back here and just put black seats. I really love this red here. But I mean, they're still just as comfortable as the front seats. Nice support, nice lumbar. But I mean, as the back seat passenger, this is very comfortable. Like there is a whole bunch of legroom in here. There is some seat back storage pockets. There's two vents right there in the middle. Below that, you do get heated seats back here too. Ah, I love that. The front seats are heated and ventilated. You do not get the ventilated back here, but there is two USB-C chargers right under the heated seats button. Right here in the middle, you just pull this down. There are your cup holders, nice and big, regular size with the same bubble design right there in the middle. And then we do get our storage on the doors and that little cubby, just like I mentioned in the front. And then we have just a couple like little grab handles with lights in between them. Other than that, this is it. This feels great. Like I would be so comfortable sitting back here, and I am just a little 5'2" gal. So, I mean, it's easy to fit back here. It's roomy, it's spacious. I love the materials. These leather seats feel great. And I don't feel like you would feel like grossly sweaty when you sit on them. You know what I mean? Like when the leather sticks to you, I feel like it would just be nice. These are great. And thanks so much to Autonation Chevrolet of South Clearwater for letting me do the review on this brand new Equinox EV RS. They have an awesome selection of brand new and pre-owned Chevrolets, so make sure to go check out their inventory. Now for my 3 favorite features, one just has to be how the whole car comes together and looks. Like, this is a edgy and sharp kind of design from Chevy that you don't see too often. Most of their other cars are just like kind of regular cars, kind of bubbly. but they made the EV version of this car look super cool, and I really love how they pulled everything into the interior, especially with that red. It looks awesome. 2 has to be the flush door handles. I like that they are not protruding, just like a Tesla. You know, they just stay on the body. It looks good, but then they pop out at you when you need them. So, I mean, it's just a cool little feature. It's not a regular door handle. 3 has to be the fact that you can still open the hood and see all the electrical mechanics under there. I know you don't need to touch them, but it's still cool that you can see all of that right there, and it is easily accessible. For my Riley ranking, I probably have to go a 6.9 on this car. I do really, really love how it looks, but I mean, it does have good range, but it's really slow, okay? Like, that is just a big damper, especially for an EV. You expect the torque to be instant and the car to be really fast, and apparently that is just not the case for this one. But it is very roomy, and I feel like it's very practical, but honestly, the price point is not. And if you thought this car was cool, you've got to go check out the others that I have reviewed. Rear view mirror camera? But when you have the wow, what are they called? Velcro? Like Velcro, okay. I gotta teleport. Oh my gosh. Super cool. This is kind of like a, I don't even know. Let's decide. Like, geez, why was that so hard? Dang it.